Hermès Birkin specifically have outperformed the S&P and gold and returns an annual return of
14%.
I invest in a lot of real estate and like bonds. And let me tell you, honey, we was not in the double digits in the last couple of years at all. You know what doesn't have any PFAS? Hermès bags. They better not. It takes an artisan 24 to 40 hours to make a Birkin or Kelly. Every stitch on an Hermès bag is hand stitched. There is not a machine that's doing it. If I see an Hermès Birkin or Kelly and the stitching is perfect, like a machine made it, then it's not authentic. But there are some good fakes where I need to like sit down with the bag, open it, examine it, count the stitches, like all the things. There are some good fakes out there.
Another advice that I just learned not too long ago. So
before we dive into today's episode, I have something so special that I want to share with you guys. My book, Joy Prescriptions, is available for pre-order now. I have been working on this project for over 2 years, and I'm so excited that it's finally coming to life. I wrote this book because I used to be stuck in a cycle of perfectionism, people pleasing, trying to check off all the boxes. And quite frankly, it left me feeling empty and burned out. That's when I started my own joy journey to figure out what really brings me joy, which is connection, laughter, and purpose. And I want to share this with all of you. The reason the book is called Joy Prescriptions is because at the end of each chapter, I actually write a joy prescription for you to start living your life more authentically and with more joy. So pre-order the book today and check out in the show notes my book tour. I am going to 7 cities across America, and I hope that you will come out to see me, give me a hug, take a selfie, and talk about all things joy. Hope to see you soon. Let's get into our weekly health hot take. So as you guys know, every week we're picking one trending health topic and giving you our unfiltered thoughts, no fluff, no BS, just our true opinions. So this week's hot take is PFAS, which stands for polyfluoroalkyl substances. I probably botched that, but that's okay. PFAS in yoga pants and the effects it has on our health. Tell us more about this, Nicole.
All right. So guys, remember that our health hot takes are here just to inform you. We're not trying to fearmonger or persuade you guys anyway. It's just to inform us so that we can have more knowledge on the subject. And I have seen a lot of posts on TikTok and on social media about what they call PFAS in yoga pants, especially in like hot brands like Lululemon and Athleta, which I think we all have a ton of. PFAS are considered forever chemicals because they're chemicals that are not broken down easily in the environment or our bodies, and they can be absorbed orally if ingested or through the skin, which is why it could be hazardous if it's in our yoga pants. And now they're saying that these chemicals can be linked to things such as infertility, hormonal disruptions, and even certain types of cancers like bladder cancers. So the question is, are we going out and burning all of our yoga pants, or are we banning the Lululemon? What are we doing with this? And again, I think this is just kind of one of those things where knowledge is power. If I have to buy a new pair of yoga pants, am I going to maybe avoid brands that are carrying PFAS? Am I going to make more knowledgeable decisions? And I think the answer is yes. Now that we know that some of these brands can be linked to certain sort of health risks, like why would we put ourselves at risk?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree. We're not trying to fearmonger, but it's like you learn about this stuff. And part of me is like, oh my God, like one more thing. You know,
seriously,
I already bought
because
an
I feel
filter. Like I already threw out my Nonstick pots and pans, and I bought the entire set from this company called Caraway. And it's really pretty, actually.
Stop.
And
are those bad for you now? Because I have Caraway.
No, Caraway is good for you.
Oh, thank goodness, because they're really cute.
Yes. Like, they're really cute. Yeah, I got the white one with the gold lid, and I don't even cook that much, but I will, like, make some eggs or, like, a stir fry or something, but I'm not doing complex things. But my old pants that had that, like, nonstick coating, I donated all of those. And I also got rid of all my Tupperwares that are made of plastic. So now we have, like, glass ones. And I told my nanny, because she was microwaving, like, leftovers in plastic takeout containers or, like, plastic other containers, and I was like, do not microwave in plastic, because I think the plastic, like, leaches into the food, and then we eat the fried rice or whatever, and we're, like, eating plastic. And it's just like, how much more stuff can I possibly have to worry about? You know what I mean?
No, it's hard because I think it's, especially when you try to do healthy things. Like, for a long time, I was using the air fryer because it was easier than obviously deep frying stuff. And so for making things like French fries and chicken wings, the air fryer was great. And then all of a sudden, the air fryer is bad for you because it leaches out some toxic chemical. And I do feel like
I didn't get that memo. We can't air fry now?
Apparently, I still have an air fryer. I don't use it as much because in the back of my head, there's that thought that it's bad for you. But point is that I think almost every day now there's a new announcement that something is bad for you or has some sort of toxic chemical. So again, if you listen to all of these things, you're going to be living in a bubble, and it's no way to live. But if there are healthier or better alternatives out there that don't contain these forever toxic things called PFASs, like, why not use yoga pants that are made of 100% organic cotton? I did look this up when we were talking about this the other day. There are some brands that actually have really cute yoga athleisure wear that are PFAS free. You guys, if you're curious about these brands, there's a brand called Mate, Mate, and Pact, Pact, and they're PFAS free. So just, knowledge is power, I think. I still have some Lululemon pants. I haven't thrown them away, but I don't think I'm going to be going out and buying them.
I think in that case, like, knowledge is power. And now that we know, we can make better informed decisions. But, like, for now, I'm going to keep the things that I have and use, right? You know what doesn't have any PFAS? Hermès bags. They better not. They better not.
And you know what? If there's some PFAS in them, I'm going to still carry them.
Oh my gosh.
All right, guys, back to today's topic, the wonderful world of Hermes. And so why is it so hard to get an Hermes bag?
I think that a lot of people think it's super hard to get, and there's this, I don't know, like, cult-like status with the bags. I don't know. What has your experience been?
I have never been lucky enough to walk into an Hermes store and leave with a quota bag without making an additional purchase. Like, you hear stories of people that walk into a store, especially stores like in Paris or somewhere else, and they walk out with a quota bag without buying anything else. That has never been my experience. But I don't think that there is necessarily a preset spend or a minimum purchase that you need to make in order to get a bag. I think some of it is timing, some of it is luck. But I do think the best way to get a bag is to establish a relationship with a particular sales associate and build a relationship.
Yes. So I would say that Hermes is based on a relationship model with your SA. And so your SA stands for your sales associate. They are basically the magic key to all of your Hermes handbag wishes.
They are the gatekeepers. The gatekeepers.
Yes, quite literally, because they get shipments of bags every so often whenever the Hermes FedEx ferry decides to drop the shipment that comes from Paris. And the sales associates back in the day, I don't know if they still do this now, but they used to draw a lottery to allocate which bags in the shipment went to which sales associates. And then they offer the bags to their VIP clientele. So what you want to do is let it be known what your wish list items are for your particular SA. That way they are keeping a mental note or an actual note on their phone perhaps of who wants what. Because the thing with Hermes is like you can't, unless you want to pay for a reseller like Fashion File or Rebag or something like that, and you want like say a 25 centimeter Togo leather Birkin with gold hardware. Like if you're going to be that specific, honey, you better just go buy it resale and pay 2 to 3 times retail value, because what they get is what they get. So if you have parameters that are more like, I'm looking for something on the smaller side, so 25-ish centimeters, a neutral color like brown, black. I'm not looking for pink, green, or purple. And you give a little bit wider parameters, it's easier for your SA to then offer you a bag which fits within your parameters. Do you agree, Nikki?
I totally agree. And so when you guys think about why it's so hard to get a bag, it's kind of like what Tiffany said. They get shipments from Paris and they don't necessarily know what's coming in that shipment, what size or what color. Hermes bags are not made like by the thousands. They are handmade, usually by a single artisan. So the production of one bag takes a long time compared to factories that are pumping out hundreds of thousands of bags a day. Kind of like, like some other large scale brands may make thousands of bags. Hermes bags take longer to make because they're handmade usually by a single artisan, is my understanding. And so the production time is much longer. So the amount of bags produced in a year are much less than other retailers. And then these bags are distributed to all of the Hermes stores around the world. And so they get a certain number of bags every shipment in a certain amount of colors and a certain amount of sizes, but no one knows what those are. So when you're going to the store and you're establishing a relationship with your sales associate and you tell them the bags that you like, if you're a little bit more general with your wish list, like Tiffany said, I want something small, maybe a mini or a 25 in, neutral colors, you're more likely to kind of get that bag than if you have a very, very tight, narrow wish list.
Yes. And what Nikki said about a single artisan making the bags is true. So first of all, when you are a leather craftsman at the Hermes flagship where the bags are all made, you do not get to start off making a Birkin or a Kelly until you have been making other Hermes leather goods for 2 years. Right?
Ooh, Tiffany, wait, have you been to the factory? Because this sounds like some real deep intel.
I myself have not been, but I have good intel from good sources.
Wow, listen, I'm learning something from you, Tiff. Well, I feel like I always learn something from you.
I am an encyclopedia of Hermes knowledge. If only I knew this much about something else that didn't require me to spend money, that actually made money. Oh, but I digress.
Wait, you do make money.
Yes, because I was on a money podcast with my friend Bonnie Koo, who talks about like how to live a wealthy life. She does like money coaching for women physicians. She spoke at Lead Her Summit. And she was like, well, tell us about your investments. And I was sort of joking, but sort of not. And I was like, girl, I don't really know how to invest my money. I just spend it all on Birkins. And then I was scrolling socials yesterday.
I saw it on the business of fashion.
Yes, that Hermes Birkin specifically have outperformed the S&P and gold. Gold doesn't do that well. And returns an annual return of 14%.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am. Now I invest in a lot of real estate and like bonds and stuff like that. And let me tell you, honey, we was not in the double digits in the last couple of years at all.
But I'm going to tell you what my husband tells me every time I buy a bag. And I'm like, honey, it's such a good investment. It does better than some stocks. He's like, Nicole, if you're going to sell them, fine. He's like, but you don't sell any of your bags, so you're not making any money off of them. And I'm like, okay, touche.
And the other point there is that they generally hold their resale value when they are kept pristine, which mine are not because I'm actually using my bags, right? So if you go on the auction websites like Sotheby's, Christie's, Heritage Auctions, the bags that are going for 2, 3, maybe 4 times their retail resale value are kept pristine in a box, like never touched. The exotics, you usually have to put on gloves to like hold an exotic. All the stickers are on the hardware. Like it has not left someone's closet. That's when you can really make money on a resale. But like me, I carry all my bags. So immediately it's like it drops in value,
But even then, even when you're looking at these secondary handbag sites, even a used bag like a mini Kelly or a 25, they're still going for double what you buy them for at the store, if not more.
That's true. Yeah,
So
I
even
bought a
used
mini
bags,
Kelly in 2017 for $8,500.
$9,000. Yeah.
And now that mini Kelly is going on their resale websites, even I would say in like, very good to excellent condition for
25,
like
30,000.
Yes. Yes.
So, I mean, even then it's a good investment, I guess, if you're going to resell them. But to Anthony's
I don't
point, I
want to
never
resell
do.
them. Like I worked so hard for this bag. I'm not going to resell it, which
Correct.
is a question that I want to ponder with you out loud, because sometimes when I want like a very specific bag, I will sometimes
not buy a bag for 3 times what it's worth at the store. Like I just will not do it.
Remember I sent you a screenshot and I was like, I did it. Like I paid 3 times the retail value of a bag because I had wanted it for like 2 years. It was limited edition. I don't know that they're making it anymore. And I was like, F it. Like I want it. I'm just going to buy it. So I bought it from an auction house, which you can trust to have it authenticated, because we can talk about authenticity in a minute. But if you have something very specific, like I would recommend going to an auction house or a resale website, or you might be waiting forever. Now, if you're okay waiting forever and maybe not getting it, that's fine. But there are just some bags that like I had to have it immediately.
I think if there is something like super specific, a limited edition bag or a color that's been discontinued or something like that, then maybe I would consider it. But it hurts my soul to pay 3 times. Like a mini Kelly is $9,000 at the store. I cannot justify going and spending $30,000 on it. Like I can't. That's like 2 months of working at the hospital.
Yeah, I know. I think at that point you've just like sold your tech company for like $1 bajillion, and like money is like immaterial. You know what I mean? Like you have so many zeros in your bank account that you just don't care. And look, we want to say that like we understand that there are serious things going on in the world right now, and we are talking about like handbags. I get it. Like maybe this episode does not speak to everyone, but there is a segment of the population that is into luxury handbags, and we wanted to share our knowledge and our experience. So please don't be like, oh my God, they're so superficial. They had this entire episode about Hermes handbags. Actually, we're just doing what we were asked to do because we asked our audiences, what would you like to hear us talk about? And Nicole, like we got the screenshots. People were like, Hermes, how to get a Birkin, like all this stuff.
Anytime I post like, oh, I'm shopping and there's an orange handbag, everyone's like, what's in the bag? What's in the bag? There is this curiosity around the world of Hermes. And that's really what Tiff and I want to talk to you guys about. So let's give the people what they want.
We're just here to serve.
How do you secure the bag? So we've kind of alluded to this already. Tiffany mentioned that the SAs, your sales associates, they are the gatekeepers to the bag, because when the bags arrive in the store, they get kind of dispersed amongst the sales associates by a mechanism that Tiffany and I are not 100% sure whether it's based on hierarchy or a lottery system, but the SAs get the bags, and then they get to decide which clients they're going to give the bags to or offer the bags. And so the best way to get a bag is to be on the good side of one of these sales associates. And how do you do that? The answer is you buy things that
They
not
are called sales associates, okay? They are in the business of sales, which means they are in the business of selling you things. Why does everyone act like they're evil because they're trying to sell you things? Like, do you know what I mean? They're just doing their job. If you don't want to buy stuff, then maybe don't go shopping. You know what I mean? Like, it's weird because I see a lot of people like hate on Hermes, or it's such a game. I refuse to play anymore. It's like, don't play then. Like, go somewhere. Like, you don't have to. Like, that's a decision. You know what I mean?
And
No
this
one's
is
like,
not a novel concept. A lot of luxury brands work like this. So Anthony
yes,
is like a car aficionado. You
yes,
can't walk into Ferrari and get like
nope,
a super rare or hard, type of car. Yeah, maybe you can get like the everyday drivers that, or, like the mommy ones that the guys don't want. But generally
yes. You can
speaking,
get a used Ferrari California, which is back seats, which is what I had. But you're not going to get a 458 Italia or a 488
or a
when you walk into the
spider, like
Ferrari
one of
dealers.
these.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Correct.
Yeah.
Or the same thing if you walk into
Rolex,
a Porsche dealer or you walk into Rolex, or
AP.
you're not walking
Yes.
into Patek and leaving with an Aquanaut. Like, it doesn't happen, guys.
It's
You
not going to
have to
happen.
establish yourself as a frequent flyer. Well, I mean, look, American Airlines has frequent flyer programs. So does Hermes, basically.
Correct. What status are you with Hermes? Are you executive platinum or are you silver? Because that's what's going to determine this. And it sounds so vapid and crazy, but like, money talks, you guys. Okay, so let's just be upfront with it and say that you generally get on the good side of your SA by giving them sales that result in commission. And also the SAs have sales targets that are given to them by their store manager, regional manager, whatever. And they said, okay, Sarah, you need to hit X amount of sales this month or this quarter. So Sarah is incentivized to hit her sales target. And you can help Sarah by buying housewares, ready to wear, and fine jewelry. Fine
Yes, guys.
jewelry is your easiest and fastest way in to getting a bag. I'm just going to say it. Please see Exhibit A. I don't have any jewelry on right now. I barely have
Actually,
any
look,
makeup on.
Exhibit A,
Yes.
Exhibit B, Exhibit C. These are all the things that have led me to get that stuff back there. Because as Tiffany mentioned,
fine jewelry, number one. I
fine
would
jewelry,
say
houseware.
ready to wear and housewares are 2 and 3, some, interchangeably. You are not gonna get on the very good side of your SA with like belts and click clack bracelets and scarves. Like, I am so sorry to be the bearer of bad news. Can you get a bag off for buying only those items and some shoes? Sure, you can. What I'm trying to do is get you there the fastest way possible, which for me, generally faster is better. But we're anesthesiologists, so like we tend to be impatient people. Like at work, we do a thing and something happens. So we like immediate gratification when we can get it.
Build a relationship with your SA. Buy things from your SA. And when we say an SA, I mean go to the store, whatever store you're going to frequent the most often, and meet somebody, meet a sales associate, and go to that same sales associate time and time again. Because a lot of the Hermes game is one of patience and one of persistence, because nobody knows when they're going to get a shipment in. So maybe you go to the store and they don't have any bags that day, but you buy, a ring and you buy some sandals. The next time you go back to the same sales associate, get their contact information, know what days they're going to be at the store, and try to continue to give that one person your business so that they remember you. That way, the next time they get a shipment, they're like, oh, that girl that bought the ring the other day and the shoes and the dress, she really wanted this light pink 28 or whatnot. And then that's kind of how you establish the relationship. So pick an SA, be consistent, and buy stuff, preferably houseware, blankets, pillows, fine jewelry, and ready to wear.
I have a dining room table, which we hardly sit at to eat. We usually eat by the kitchen table, but I have a really nice dining room that right now is like where we put all the boxes that I get on a daily basis. And all the plate settings are Hermes china and forks and glasses and sushi soy sauce dishes. It's called Passifolia, which is like these green leaves, like very colorful. It's very beautiful. I don't actually use that. Like if we are eating there, I like take that china out and like put down regular plates.
Oh wait, I have another advice that I just learned not too long ago. So once you become kind of familiar with the Hermes game and you have your sales associate, They will occasionally invite you or tell you that there is a special event happening at the store. Sometimes they are launching their winter line and they're going to have some special coats, or they're doing like a jewelry event. When they do special events, they usually receive a shipment right before a special event. This is so that they can sell to the people that spend money at the special event. So we recently had a jewelry event at the Hermes store in Design District, and me and a girlfriend went. We bought some jewelry, got some earrings and whatnot, and we both got exotic bags the next week. So special events usually mean a special shipment of bags. So if your SA invites you to one of these, that's a good way to snag a bag as well.
Yes, I agree. There was a special watch event here in Dallas not too long ago, but the problem is I generally don't wear a watch.
I don't either.
And this is the thing. I was like, I know that if I buy a watch, I'll probably get a bag offer subsequently. And I was like, but then what am I going to do with this watch? Because I don't wear a watch, which is my excuse for why I'm always late. And I didn't do it. I didn't do it, but my friend did, and she got offered a good bag. But she also bought like a $50,000 watch, which I would have no use for that. You know, like maybe I could wear it as a piece of jewelry.
You have to love what you're buying, right? Like, again, like I don't want to play a game where I'm just like spending money for no reason.
Yes.
Like I actually do. Like if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I wear these earrings all the time. To me, these were a great purchase. I love rings, and I think their rings are really fun. So if you're going to spend money on something, try to make it something that you're actually going to get use out of and that brings you joy, because just to go spend money on something that's going to sit in your closet or you're not going to use, like a watch for you, it doesn't make sense.
Yes.
Although I have to admit, I have made some dumb purchases at Hermes.
Oh, I have so many dumb purchases.
You go first. What's your dumbest purchase at Hermes?
I have shoes that I've worn once and they hurt so bad. I've never worn them again. I have purses that I bought that I never use. Like I need to do an entire closet clean out, because I have let's say, you know, your closet is 100%. I probably use at best 70% of the things I own at best.
That's pretty good, actually. 70%. No?
Maybe 50.
Okay. I have Hermes dog bowls. Like my dog drinks water and eats food out of Hermes dog bowls. What a fancy pup. He is very fancy. He's very cute. His name is Maxwell. Actually, the bowls are wonderful. They're magnetic and they like kind of come apart and they're actually quite lovely. But yes, he has an Hermes collar and Hermes dog bowls. Those were that's kind of like my dumbest
there's
purpose.
An Hermes dog jacket. It's like a puffer jacket.
I've seen it. We live in Miami, but you know.
Because you live in Miami, that's a good point.
Maybe in Colorado he'd need one. But I think that was probably the most extra. Like, does that necessary? I could have gone to PetSmart.
No,
but they are very cute.
Necessary? No,
they are very cute. But that was probably like the most over the top, you know, like one of those days where I got into the store and I was like, oh crap, I need to buy something.
I gotta buy something. I don't
know what to buy. Well,
I know.
The dog got you.
It's okay. Look, this is meant to be like fun and frivolous and fashion, and we deal with very serious things at work. I generally am caring for very ill patients who are not happy to see me that day. Nikki, you have less critically ill patients, but still that need like necessary surgery. So, you know, when we get home and we have free time, like we like to look at pretty things because we've just done a lot. Oh, the other thing that I wanted to share that I learned is it takes an artisan 24 to 40 hours to make a Birkin or Kelly.
So basically one a week, maybe.
Yes. And in France, I don't even think they work 40 hours a week.
No, girl, because they have siestas and stuff.
Yeah. So that's the construction of the bag, the cutting of the leather, and every stitch on an Hermes bag is hand stitched. There is not a machine that's doing it. So they use something called a saddle stitch, which came from making saddles because Hermes has a rich equestrian background. And the saddle stitch is a stitch in when there's two needles on one thread and they pass through the same hole. And then when you loop it, like that makes the stitch. So on an Hermes Birkin, it always goes from left to right. And they're not perfectly evenly spaced. So once in a while you can see that two stitches are like a little bit closer together and the next one's like a little farther apart. If I see an Hermès Birkin or Kelly and the stitching is perfect, like a machine made it, then it's not authentic. And I feel like if this whole anesthesia thing falls through, Nikki, I'm going to be an Hermès authenticator because I have about 30 checklist things that I go through when I see a bag. Ooh, one of the girls at my kid's school showed up with a Birkin and I was like a little bit suspicious, and she like made sure that it was like very prominently displayed. And I got a little closer to it. Fake. I could spot it from like 6 feet away. I didn't even need to pick it up. But there are some good fakes where I need to like sit down with the bag, open it, examine it, count the stitches, like all the things. There are some good fakes out there.
Remember when the internet thought that you were the Birkin Slayer or whatever that account is?
By the internet, do you mean Marisol Putton?
So for you guys who aren't familiar with this like housewives reference, there is an account on social media called the Birkin Slayer, which apparently is
Birkin Slayer.
The fake Birkin Slayer, which is this account that exposes celebrities for carrying fake bags, which Correct. I also say is full of crap, because one time I had my tiny limoncello mini Kelly overstuffed, so it kind of looked like a little fat panda because it had my cell phone and all sorts of stuff. And they had the audacity to be like, oh, Dr. Nicole Martin has a fake bag. And listen, there's nothing wrong with carrying fake bags. You want to rock a fake bag, you want your Walmart Birkin, by all means, go for it. But I work very hard to establish a relationship with my essay, as evidenced by my ensemble this evening. My bag was not fake. So then I took it to social media and posted the damn receipt. I was like, limoncello, like, here you go. But anyways, they thought Tiffany was the exposer of all celebrities wearing fake Birkins.
I wish I had that much free time, y'all, because I'm running on about 6 hours of sleep and skirting some of the responsibilities in my life currently because I have so many projects going on concurrently. I do not have time to look for Instagram pictures of celebrities.
So
and
you are not the Birkin Slayer?
I am not the fake Birkin Slayer, although I love his work, minus the time when he posted you. But sometimes people will like tag me in some of his stuff, and it's really funny. It's honestly not that serious.
I was very insulted, though. I'm not gonna lie. I know they're so stupid.
It's insulting when you have a real bag and they call you fake.
I don't even buy bags secondhand. One, because I don't want to like pay 3 times the value, but also because it's really hard to authenticate these things. Because to your point, the fakes have gotten so good that like I don't want to spend $30,000 on a fake bag. I would be so pissed.
Yeah, I would be so pissed. And depending on where you buy it from, like if you buy it from like a Fashion File or a Rebag or something, and then you get it authenticated and it's not authentic, like I'm pretty sure you can get your money back, and also you're paying with a credit card. But way back when, like, what is it, 2014, I think, I bought a bag off eBay. What was I thinking? I don't know. There was some wine involved, but there was also a lot of stupidity involved. And I wanted a very specific color, bag, size, and hardware. And it was not forthcoming from the Hermes store. And so I just typed it in, and like the first thing that came up in the Google search results was an eBay link. And the price was not that bad, which probably in retrospect now should have been a red flag. And they only took wire transfer.
Oh my God, Tiffany, you sound like these people that get like bamboozled on the internet. How did you think this was a legitimate deal? Please enter bank account here.
I think it was going through, like they had decent seller ratings. Like it wasn't that bamboozly at first. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
And the bag came and I was like, oh no.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like, that sucks.
No. I emailed them. They blocked me. They ghosted me. I tried to call Bank of America. I know everything there is to know about wire transfers.
Yeah, the problem with wire transfers is when that money leaves, it's gone.
It is done. It is gone. You have no protection at all. Like I was like, you tell me the name of the person's account, that this bank account that I wired to, and they were like, we can't give you that information. And I was like, I'm going to sue them. And my lawyer was like, who am I suing again? And for what? I was like, oh, Yeah. So be very careful when buying not from the Hermes store. Like, I would definitively say the only way you can 100% bet your life on it that it's authentic is it is coming from the Hermes store. Even, authenticated secondary websites, one can slip through or something. But yeah, it's crazy now, like the level of fakes out there. I was telling you that all the Hermes bags are made by hand. So if the stitching is very even, or the leather is kind of like plasticky and gross, like I can spot a fake from a mile away. But my friend came back from Hong Kong and she was like, do you like my Birkin? And I was like, oh, how'd you get it or whatever? And she was like, girl, it's fake. She told me within like 10 seconds. And I looked at it and I was like, I mean, I'm a little worried. Like, it was a little too good. And she goes, yeah, it's like a grade A fake. And it's hand stitched. Like, someone hand stitched it. It's just not made in Paris. It was like made in China. But I said to her, how much did you pay for this fake Birkin? Guess what she told me?
If you tell me that it's like a couple $1,000s, I'm going to be like, what?
It was $2,200.
That's still expensive.
It's still expensive. And I said to her, for a fake, but it was a good fake. I like, if I had just passed her on the street, like, I wouldn't have noticed. But also I was like, girl, what are you going to do with it when you're done? Because I can resell all my Birkins. Like, if push comes to shove and something bad goes down, like, I can at least I can offload my Birkins, How are you going to offload a fake Birkin? First of all, I think it's like illegal to sell counterfeit merchandise here in the United States. Maybe not in China.
I think it's illegal to buy counterfeit merchandise.
I don't think it's illegal to buy. I think it's illegal to sell.
I don't know.
But anyway, she was like, whatever, like, I'll use it and then I'll like throw it away for $2,200. I was like, okay, I guess if you want to throw that around, like, it's just crazy that people are doing
so that. To summarize what Tiffany just said, Tiffany's very tragic story. I'm so sorry that happened to you. If you are adamant about getting a particular Hermes bag and you don't want to play the Hermes game by going to the store and you're looking at the secondary resale market, make sure you're going to a reputable place. The auction houses like Sotheby's is probably your safest bet. If not, a reputable resale store, something like Fashion File or one of these that have been in business for a long time. Although, like Tiff said, sometimes even those things can, you read online that they got a fake bag through one of these sites. So even that's not perfect. But things like Poshmark or eBay or these kind of platforms where any seller can claim to do anything, there's very little recourse. And if someone asks you for a wire transfer, that should probably be the biggest red flag, because once those funds are out of your account, there's no way to trace where they went and no way to get them back. At least if you use American Express or a credit card company, sometimes you have some recourse and you could go, cancel the payment through the credit card company. But wire transfers, like, that would have been like, wee, my sketch alarms would have been going off. But you live and you learn, Tiff. You live and you learn.
2013, and I think I wasn't like that savvy back then. It just didn't occur to me that it was a scam. So
what about some alternatives, Tiff? We're getting close. We're wrapping up soon. But, I think there are some good luxury alternatives and then maybe some even like non-luxury alternative bags if you don't have the patience to play the Hermes game or it's just out of your budget. What do you think are some good alternatives?
Well, there is the Walmart Birkin, aka Workin.
Have you seen one in person?
I have not. I tried to go on the Walmart website like around Christmas time to order one, and it was all sold out because I wanted to order one to like experience, people were doing unboxings on TikTok and stuff. And I wanted to do like a side-by-side educational comparison video, but like I could not get my hands on one. And somebody actually tagged me in someone else's video and said, oh, Tiffany Moon should do like a comparison. So then I tried to go online. And then I responded to their comment and I wrote, I couldn't get my hands on one. And then someone else commented and they wrote, I thought you were rich. And I was like, what? Like,
the internet is wild.
The internet just, it reminds me that not everyone is always on the same wavelength. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so besides the Walmart Birkin, there is a brand that I really like. It's not very commonly known, but Valextra is really nice. They used to have it at Barney's, but now Dallas doesn't have a Barney's store anymore. But you can look it up on their website. They have amazing leather. For a more economical option, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but it's like Frija or Freja, Freja. Amazing real leather bags, totes. They have one that you can put your laptop into that I really love for travel because I'm always traveling with my laptop so I can work on the plane. And the price is like very reasonable because they basically do direct to consumer. So there's no like middleman, there's no store. It's online only. They have a warehouse, but I can personally speak to the quality of their handbags. What about you?
I think it all depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for to still kind of stay in that luxury brand name category, then obviously great alternatives that still hold their value in terms of resale, if that's something that eventually you want to matter. Obviously, Chanel, right? A good flat bag, I think, is a classic, a staple in any closet and holds its value if you want to resell. YSL, Yves Saint Laurent, has like a little Le Sac bag that kind of resembles a Birkin if you're looking for like the shape and the top handle. The Lady Dior, I think, is a really cute small bag if you're kind of into the more Minnie Kelly kind of feel. And all of those are less expensive than Hermes, still designer, hold value for resale. But if we're talking just like non-designer bags, there's this great leather company called Monsieur Graviel. We'll make sure we like write it down in the comments below because I'm sure I'm butchering the name. But they make these really pretty leather clutches and leather bags. Kind of resembles like the Bottega Cloud Cut, little clutch. And then Civet has really pretty leather bags as well for much lower price point than obviously Hermes and some of the other designer brands.
Yeah. Okay, I think that about wraps it up for this episode. We've spilled all the Hermes tea. I hope we don't get in trouble for this, although nothing we said is like proprietary information. We're just sharing our experience and our knowledge with you guys.
I mean, I
so
think
that
if anything, our essays would be very happy that we are telling people to go out and buy things.
Yeah, buy things. So yes, hopefully we help you secure the bag.
And remember, ladies, it's not the bag that you carry, but how you carry yourself.
Right. And don't forget, you carry the bag.
That's
the bag
right, girls.
does not carry you.
All right. Catch you guys later for another episode of Scrubs and Stilettos. And if you haven't done it yet, make sure you hit follow, drop comments below if there's anything that you want us to talk about for our health hot takes or a weekly obsession item that you want us to check out. We're always looking for new content.
Be sure to leave a rating or review to let us know how we're doing. It helps us to grow the show, and we will catch you next time.